If you clicked into this video and you thought I was going to be up here regretting that I was talking smack all week and all that other stuff, nah, I don't regret nothing. I handled my part of the deal. I cheered my team on. Ain't nobody tell Daron Bland to go out there and make a sex tape worthy of Kim Kardashian's name being on it. This man, Jahmyr Gibbs, just ran a train on DB by himself. How he do that? Well, needless to say, we ain't getting no damn revenge this year, y'all. Detroit Lions fans and the Crimson Chin, they gonna get the last laugh on this one. And let's talk about it. Man, shut your up. First things first, I'm gonna go ahead and say this right now. Ain't nobody using this game, using this loss, using the fact that, yeah, it just got a lot harder to get into the playoffs. Ain't nobody gonna use this moment to sit here and act like it's gonna affect my fandom of the Dallas Cowboys. Motherfucker, I'm still a Cowboys fan. I still love my team, and I'm still gonna come back talking more shit next week. Y'all got me bent. But this was disappointing. And this was one of those games that make you have to take a step back and be like, well, golly, 44 points, Matt Eberflus? For real? You couldn't get these boys off the field at all? Did Detroit punt the ball? I think they might have punted the ball one time, y'all. Let's get right into this, because I actually made a list of all the stuff we got to talk about today. Hold on. We're going to go ahead and start on the offensive side of the ball and just work our way around, because yikes, nigga. Yikes. Yikes. Bro, why the Cowboys got to make this so stressful for us, bro? Y'all can't have a regular football week where we can just enjoy a nice, smooth, calm game all the way through. Y'all got to give our asses heart attacks every time we watching y'all, bruh. Every time, bruh. And I'm going to say this right now. The Cowboys absolutely had a chance to dispel the same old Cowboys. As soon as they get the hype train rolling, they disappoint you. They had a chance to dispel that, but guess what? It's 2025, and the Cowboys, they did it again. They came out and disappointed us, except this time they didn't disappoint us in a way that was unexpected at all. They disappointed us because an old issue reared its ugly, old, Bible-thumping head again, and we're going to talk about it in just a second, man. But first things first, the Cowboys, offensively, what went wrong from the offensive side of the ball? Well, for one, the offensive line was getting manhandled by the defensive line. It seems like every time we lose a game is because the trenches gets manhandled, and in this game, it started absolutely with Nate Thomas, but he wasn't the only guy having some issues, but Nate Thomas's side absolutely was an issue the entire game, especially when it got late in the game. And honestly, I should have been paying more attention to the fact that the young man told us in his interview that his conditioning to play a full NFL game wasn't quite there yet. And while we thought he was going to get there in 1 week, I don't know. But that absolutely showed up. By the fourth quarter, every single drop back, guys were getting free rushes on Dak, bro. Every single drop back by the fourth quarter. So, yes, Tyler Guyton, get well soon. Get your big predator-looking ass back there on the field immediately, bruh. Nate Thomas ain't ready yet. He's still incubating. And I'm going to be real, bruh. This definitely hurt the prospects of the whole Nate instead of Terrence Steele thing. Just draft one if you want another offensive lineman on the right side at this point. If you want another right tackle, boy, just draft one in the 4th or 5th or 6th or something like that, bruh. And just be happy with whatever you run out there, or go get a veteran, because Nate Thomas, the way he showed up tonight, that right there was definitely a confidence breaker, because it was literally the whole game. After the third quarter, after really the second quarter, and after that first couple of drives of the third quarter, bro, he was just getting blown by every time. They had to start putting guys over there to chip. So the offensive line absolutely let you down today. I think Dak was getting pressured on like over 30% of his drop back. So again, it's hard to ask a quarterback to operate out of that. That is a huge, huge number, statistically speaking, when you're talking about the amount of pressures that a quarterback is sustaining throughout of a game. I really hate that they make Dak Prescott keep chunking the ball up at the end of the game like that, bro. Just lead the game with just one pick, bro, because that wasn't a 2-interception performance. And dumbasses is going to look at, oh, Dak threw the ball. Look at his Dak fault. And this game was the furthest thing from Rain Dakota fault, bro. But we're going to get into the role that everything else played in a second. But the offensive line was absolutely the issue today. It's not like Dak was off target or throwing inaccurate passes or making really bad decisions or anything. It was just, man, the offensive line wasn't giving him much time. And when he was able to get the ball out, it was just, hey, I mean, he was productive. 376 yards. That second interception just came pretty much at the end of the game when they were just trying to toss the ball up in the air and stuff. But the Cowboys absolutely just dropped one on this one to the Detroit Lions, and it's going to hurt. This one is absolutely going to sting, and this one is absolutely going to make it extremely hard for you to make the playoffs. The run game, it was decent. The run game wasn't anything where you're looking at it like, oh, they were terrible. They rushed the ball 17 times with Javonte Williams, 67 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, 3.9 yards per carry. Wasn't terrible, wasn't anything to write home about. But again, when the offensive line is getting dominated the way that they were this whole game, man, it's very hard to get your offense rolling, especially when you have a high-powered offense like this that needs you to be able to get at least a little bit of time or at least to be able to get some push in the trenches. Very hard to get going when your offensive line is getting outclassed the way that we did tonight. And we really shouldn't have been getting outclassed the way we did tonight. It was Al-Quadin Muhammad, a guy we cut in training camp, I think, last season. Jack Campbell, Anzalone, Alex Anzalone, and Aiden Hutchinson, Grinch face ass. They defensive line shouldn't have put hands on us the way that they did, bro. But the offensive line absolutely got put on that sex tape right alongside Daron Bland. And we gonna get to Daron Bland, bro, because my gosh, it was embarrassing what Jahmyr Gibbs was out there doing to that boy. CeeDee Lamb went out with a concussion. That really sucks. And I do think that impacted the way that this game could have possibly played out. CeeDee was having easily his best game of the season so far, had 120 yards. I believe he was like in the second quarter or in the beginning of the third quarter when he had to go out with that concussion. But 120 yards and was having the best game of the season. Went out with a concussion after hitting the ground hard with his head. George Pickens absolutely had one of those George Pickens games that everyone was terrified of him having from Pittsburgh, right? And what I mean by that is this. He allowed the flow of the game to take him out of it mentally. Mentally, he allowed the flow of the game to take it out of it. He wasn't getting a couple of calls. A couple of calls went against him. A couple of offensive pass interference type calls went against him, which I think really impacted his aggression and his intentionality with how he was running his routes and just how he was competing. I really think he allowed not only the referees but just kind of the flow of the game to impact the way he competed tonight. And that's unfortunate that we have to say that because looking at it, just looking at the look on his face, the lack of energy that he was showing, and just you can see it in his eyes. He lost focus, bro. He relapsed to Pittsburgh George, started kind of half running his routes, and it was just it didn't look good. I'm not gonna go hard and be like, George, F you, George. I'm not gonna do that. But those are the type of things that you have to kill. Those are the type of habits that you have to kill as an organization that's trying to build winning cultures, that's trying to build something special. Those are the type of things you're absolutely going to have to kill, right? Outside of that, the receivers, Ron Flanoy had himself a hell of a night. He was one of the few positives for the Cowboys tonight. Jake Ferguson, in no way should a guy that's running with cinder blocks tied to his ankles and his shins and his heel and the tip of his toes. He got like 5 cinder blocks on his feet. In no world should that guy have the type of ball security that Jake Ferguson has displayed. But Jake Ferguson has to get his ball security together, bro. 4 fumbles last season. You have multiple fumbles this season. And they're impactful fumbles. They're game-changing type fumbles. That fumble that you had, to me, you can go back and pinpoint that as the time in the game where it felt like the Cowboys started to let that thing go a little bit. That's what it felt like. And Jake, what were you trying to do? You ain't going nowhere. Your ass was wrapped up by your ankles already. And you still trying to break tackles. Man, the ball security is so frustrating to look at. Jake Ferguson, when he gets the ball in his hand, I almost cringe because, for one, he never makes a really good move unless it's just a perfect play call like the one earlier this season when he squared up the tight end screen. He never really makes a great move and break for more yardage or anything. He don't just run nobody over it and keep running. He'll run somebody over it and fall over. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, just go down. Quit fighting for the extra yardage. Why are you fighting for 1 yard, bro? On second down or third, you fighting for 1 yard, bro. Because that's the only thing you would have gotten. You wouldn't have went any further. You wasn't about to break off a long-ass run, bro. And it's getting old. It's getting old, bro. Jake Ferguson is getting old. Get it together. The inability to make plays after the catch is one thing. But damn, the ball security is literally becoming a backbreaker. And it just can't happen. It can't happen. We rock with you boys, but that can't keep happening. Ferg, it can't keep happening. And even George, the interception, it was a great play by the defense, but like Dak was telling George, man, put your hands out there and try to catch the ball. Don't wait for the ball to try to get into your body. Put your hands out and try to catch the ball. The defensive back was able to make a play on the ball, and it was a ricochet. It was a tip drill. Can't get mad at the quarterback for a tip drill. The ball was right on target where it's supposed to be at for George to catch it. He put his hands out there. The ball probably isn't intercepted. If anything, it's an incompletion, but it probably isn't intercepted. So the offense, there was just a lot of just wonkiness going on. I'm done with the Kevontae Turpin as a receiver experiment. I'm done with that experiment, bro. He needs to focus on being a special teamer because his special teams ability is taking a step back. We're going to talk about this special teams, y'all. We're going to talk about this special teams because the Lions, did they start behind their 40-yard line the whole game? Did they start behind their own 40 the whole game, bro? The special teams kickoff coverage team, there has been multiple games now this season where they have consistently allowed a team to have good field position. The special teams is becoming an issue. I know a lot of people don't see it, but man, the game of field position is serious. It's tough when the Lions only have to get 15 yards before they're in scoring position because special teams is allowing guys to get to the 40, 45, the 50-yard line consistently. The Lions started on the 50-yard line after a Cowboys score multiple times. Somebody needs to bring up Nick Sorensen. What are you doing? Why does the special teams look so inconsistent, bro? Why does Kevontae Turpin look so much worse than he's ever looked in his career so far? This is probably the worst Turpin career year as a kick returner, as a punt returner. How many times, Turpin, are you going to do a fault? How many times are you going to wait for a fair catch and then try to take off running and get a penalty, bruh? So it's still small things that this team is doing. You can tell that Brian Schottenheimer has done an excellent job of trying to kill a lot of bad habits, a lot of just bad culture items with this team. But there's still some to go. We still got some baking to do, and the season is not over. 6-1 does not make the season over, but yes, it makes us need a lot of help from people. Now we need a lot of help. Originally, we had this in our own hands. Now we need a lot of help from people. Now we need a lot of help from people. That's just what it is, y'all. It's just what that's the position that we're in. But again, I asked you, like I asked you at the beginning of this video, are you going to allow this to impact your fandom? Are you going to allow losing? Are you so emotionally fragile that you can't handle losing without it impacting your fandom? Are you so emotionally fragile that you can't handle losing without it impacting your level of support for your team when you were just excited 24 hours ago? No. I'm going to come back, talk the same smack. I got pie on my face this week. I got egg on my face this week. Lions fans going to be able to come over here and comment, get their laughs in as they should, as I would. And we got to keep moving. And I'm going to be back to talk about smack next week. Going into the Vikings game or whoever we're playing next week. Be back to talking my smack, bro. Be back to support my team. Be back to hoping the best possible outcome for my team, which at this point is going 10-6-1 and making the playoffs, which is entirely possible because you don't have any more Detroit Lions or Philadelphia Eagles or Kansas City Chiefs games. You don't. Now you just have to win these last 4 games and let the football guys decide if you're worthy of a playoff spot. Is 10 games going to be enough to get you in? That's going to be the question that has to be answered. A lot of teams have to play each other, so it could get interesting. But we absolutely just made this much more difficult on ourselves. Defensively speaking, man, Daron Bland, this is now multiple weeks where he has his games where he's playing physical, he's playing downhill, he's making tackles, he's getting his nose in the dirt, right? But, man, then he has days like today where Jahmyr Gibbs just bent him over and spread cheeks with no lubrication, bro. Daron Bland's ankles is still out there on Ford Field somewhere. I don't know where his ankles went. We need to put in an amber alert for his ankles, bro. Matter of fact, a silver alert. Because the way Jahmyr Gibbs shook him out his shoes, it probably aged his ankles a few decades. The secondary needs a facelift. The linebacker room, everyone outside of DeMarvion Overshown, because he left it out there. Demo absolutely left it out there on the field. Everyone outside of DeMarvion Overshown, the linebacker room, needs a facelift. You need to focus your draft on the secondary in your linebacker room. That's what you have to draft for this upcoming offseason. Your first 2 picks in April, linebacker, safety, either order. Linebacker, corner, either order, doesn't matter. But you have to revamp this DB room. And I know a lot of people going to be like, well, you should have try Trevon Diggs. I'm going to tell y'all this right now, bruh. Trevon Diggs would not have helped us get more pressure. Trevon Diggs would not have held up in coverage for 4 or 5 seconds against Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. He wouldn't have. He wouldn't have. But I'll say this as well. If you're playing to cover Jameson Williams and to cover Amon-Ra St. Brown because you don't have any reliable corners for real, is to put a safety and Marquise Bell on them boys, then you might as well throw Trevon Diggs, this disgruntled ass, out there anyways. And if he's any worse than they were, cut him. At this point, cut him. Quit playing with it. Quit playing with the tip. Quit playing with the tip. I'm not even mad. I don't know if y'all noticed. I'm not even mad. I'm still excited about how the season could play out. Because now you have to try to go 10-6-1 and see where the chips fall. That's where you're at with this. There is no more, try to tank and get the... No. The highest draft pick you're going to get at this point in the season is 12, 13. That's circumstantial. 16 to 12 or 13 is circumstantial, yo. You try to go 10-6-1 and see where the chips fall. See if you can sneak into the playoffs. Because that's really your only course of action now. That's all you can do. It's unfortunate. We got embarrassed yet again, and not even really embarrassed because they showed some fight. This wasn't the same old Cowboys get blown out when everybody put some expectations on them. This was, the biggest issue that we knew was present with this team. It's not quite fixed yet. And now you have to take a look at the coaching staff. Pretty much everyone not named Aaron White-Cotton, y'all. If your name is not Aaron White-Cotton, you're under evaluation on that defensive coaching staff. The secondary coaches, Matt Eberflus, y'all are really under evaluation to the point to where y'all got to convince us to keep y'all jobs. That's how bad the secondary and Matt Eberflus has looked this year. So I'm not mad. I'm hopeful. I mean, I got an egg on my face. Lions fans gonna talk crazy to us, as they should, like I said before. I'm not mad, though. I'm not any less of a fan. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over this. I'm gonna look at this like, damn, Sonic and Knuckles came in there and knocked the Sonic rings out our ass. Straight up. Now your only option is to go 10-6-1 or to end the season flat. It's one or the other. You go 10-6-1 or you end the season flat. Which one is it? Which one is it? That's the question you have to ask now. The Lions did what they're supposed to do. They didn't do anything that I didn't expect them to do. If y'all go back and look at my preview, bro, the Lions did exactly what I said they were going to end up doing. They did exactly what I said they were going to end up doing, bro. A lot of short, quick passes. A lot of stuff moving laterally to get your line moving horizontally down the line instead of upfield. A lot of misdirection stuff. And then once they got them boys moving sideline to sideline, they started killing them in the middle. Because that's what happens. It opens up the middle when you get guys going sideline to sideline like that. It opens up the middle. And that's what we saw happen tonight. And Detroit had their pick of how they wanted to do, what they wanted to do to us. They had their pick if they wanted to do doggy style, if they wanted to hit the Eiffel Tower on us, if they wanted to do missionary, reverse cowgirl. They had their options of how they wanted to handle us tonight, y'all. I mean, and that's just what it is. But don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Don't be that fan that allows each and every loss to impact your level of fandom for your team, like your level of support for your team. Because at this point in the season, we only have one way to root for our team, and that's to the end of it. That's to the end. That's to the final buzzer, and to hope that they can win every game. Because, like I said, you ain't gonna lose every game from here on out. So at worst, you're gonna be 8-1. At worst, you're 8-1. So guess where that puts you? Right in the middle of the NFL draft, where you would have been anyway. So no. Tanking is off the table, y'all. It's all about 10-6-1 and let the chips fall where they may, and hoping that, hey, football gods bless you a little bit. We missed Jadeveon Clowney tonight. His presence was missed. That pass rush, that relentless effort was missed. Absolutely. His ability in the run game was missed. Absolutely. Again, the Cowboys had it all tonight was the Cowboys had a chance to take that next step as an organization, as a team, growth-wise. Winning is easy until winning is expected. Then true success comes when you can keep being successful when it's expected. They couldn't make that step tonight. And it's okay, because the beauty of being a fan is we get to see our team try it again, because I think that this team's going to have plenty more chances. This particular core, it's built right. The foundation is there. There's some tweaks that need to be made for sure. There's some key pieces that need to be looked at, evaluated. But the foundation is there. This thing is built right now. The culture is in place. Now it's about making some tweaks to this thing and going all out next year. Because to me, next year is your Super Bowl run type season. Do I feel like this team, if they sneak into the playoffs, they could still be very dangerous? Absolutely. Is it going to be matchup based? Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's see where the chips fall where they may. Detroit Lions fans, you got us. You got us. Daron Bland, go find your ankles out there on Ford Field, buddy. And I see y'all on the next one, man. This was unfortunate. I'm not sad. I'm not mad. I'm not depressed. I'm like, damn it. Better luck Sunday. I'm still going to come back talking my smack. Straight. Bow! Them cows. It is what it is, y'all.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.